Hey, good morning. Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. It is Laura here, and we are going to break down these astrological energies today. We're going to talk about how they affect the Twin Flame Collective. If you're new here to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. And keep in mind, I'm a Twin Flame coach, guide, channeler, astrologer, and reader, and we will dig further in with some cards after talking about these astrological energies. So the first transit we're going to talk about today is Venus in a trine to Uranus retrograde in Gemini. Now, the chart you're going to see up on the screen is when Pluto stations direct. We've got two culminating trines, both of them between Venus, the second one between Venus and Pluto, while still in the retrograde energy, while kind of just sitting there stationed. And then Pluto is going to start moving direct at 1 degree 22. So let's talk about Venus and Libra in this trine to Uranus retrograde in Gemini, because this is the heart-mind union, and this is massive reunion energy. This is where the feminine is activated and moves into those sacred union codes, those sacred union frequencies where she embodies love, I want to say, in the purest form. Libra is ruled by Venus, and so I feel this representation of divine balance coming online between self and other that the divine feminine has mastered, because she is the mirror of the soul on this journey, right? And so the divine feminine is actually the essence of the twin flame journey itself. And so we see Uranus retrograde there at 0 degrees Gemini in the 12th house. This is opening up a mental and telepathic channel, especially between the divine counterparts. And so we think of Gemini energy, it does rule communication. So pay attention to the synchronicities, especially in context of twin flame consciousness, because Gemini literally is the twin energy in the zodiac. And with Venus in a trine to this Gemini energy, there's like a telepathic reconnection going on here. And so you might be receiving soul messages from your guides, from your twin. There could also just be this new heartfelt understanding after, sifting through the confusion or even the silence from the counterpart. And so this, I feel, with this air trine, we've got this Grand Air Trine at play, and we do have a water trine happening in the background. This is the reunion portal. So it could be through words, dreams, signs. I think both of the twins are kind of feeling a more open and more light, and possibly even more open and willing to communicate from that place of truth rather than fear. And so the feminine, I feel, is synchronizing the heart and the mind. And as the feminine does that, it is happening as well on the flip side of the connection with the counterpart. And so there's massive opportunity, I want to say, for communication breakthroughs, and especially telepathic messages. So really pay attention to your dreams. We also have Venus in a trine to Pluto retrograde, kind of stationing direct, because it's happening at 1 degree 21. And when Pluto goes direct, it's going to be at 1 degree 22. And I think this is significant. And so this really is collective energy, right? Because Pluto is connected to generational collective energy. And so there's sacred alchemy happening connected to this collective energetic rebirth. So we've been going through months of deepened transformations with Pluto retrograde. We have been unearthing what's been repressed, what's been buried, and we've been working through any fear-based dynamics connected to love so we can fully rise into this truth. And so there's emerging energy, I want to say, of the shadow and the light within, with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And we do have both of these energies within. We do see Pluto sitting there in the 8th house of shared resources. And so Pluto and Aquarius are both air signs, part of this Grand Air Trine. And so we've got this moving energy connected to conversations, higher thoughts, and our soul's evolution, right? Because the Pluto in Aquarius is the evolution for the journey. And so there's a realignment happening along with a karmic clearing, because we're releasing these power struggle dynamics, right? We've got to release the control dynamics and all of this emotional suppression that has kept the union from coming together, that has kept the union energetically blocked. And so there's a magnetic pull happening here, I feel, and this connection is evolving from attachment into divine purpose. we've got this beautiful Grand Air Trine, which is the higher mind and this collective frequency of love being activated. And so there's going to be new ideas. There's going to be mental clarity. And I feel there's a synchronization, like I said, between the mind, the heart, and the spiritual side of the journey. So you might begin to feel lighter. You might begin to feel more authentic, because this energy really is supporting creative downloads and a realization of this shared vision or purpose between the counterparts, especially those that are ready for the higher states of union, who have been guided to collaborate and co-create something that is going to serve the collective, because the twins do have a shared soul mission here that is being activated. And with Pluto stationing direct, this is the end, right? It's a karmic ending and a new beginning. We've gone through the emotional rebirth, and now we have to tap into that relationship transformation, and we have to reclaim back our power within this union. And so this is the manifestation of the inner healing work that we've been doing and manifesting that into our outer reality. And so it kind of feels like a cosmic breath of fresh air after months of clearing, after months of emotional intensity. And now the lines of communication are opening up, but we do have to honor this higher love. We do have to transcend the fear and transcend the ego to step into this new chapter of mental, emotional, and spiritual clarity. I do feel this is where both of the twins start to finally see the connection, not as chaos, but a sacred realignment. So let's go a little bit further with the cards. Let's see what the cards have to say. If you are new to astrology and you'd like to learn more about your birth chart, there will be an option to comment free guide down below in the comment section, and I will send you the link to download the guide for the free basics of understanding your birth chart. And I've recently launched an ongoing astrology membership program. If you would like to join the monthly membership, there will be a link down below. You've still got time to join before this week's lesson on Wednesday, where I go live twice a month, the first 2 Wednesdays of the month. And because October had that extra week, we launched it a little bit later. So the first 2 weeks of every month is lessons with homework that gets assigned afterwards. And then the third Wednesday of every month is a live Q&A with me. All classes are live in a Google Meet setting. Go check it out. This is a beautiful price point for basically accessing my astrology mentorship in a group setting versus the one-on-one cost. So if you're interested in really learning how to use astrology to align to your highest path, then check it out down below. But let's go in with the cards and let's see what the cards have to say today. All right, let's break down these cards that came out today. The first card out with the oracle messages is the love partnership card. It is connected to the Page of Wands in the tarot. This screams to me the energy of we don't know how, we don't know when, But we do know that a love partnership is on the way, and it's going to be fresh. It's going to be new. It's going to spark a new sense of creativity, and it's going to require strength, I feel, to be open to this new love partnership. And that was followed by the financial discipline card. It does carry with it this archetypal energy of the Eight of Cups, of needing to walk away from illusion, confusion. Oftentimes we feel like we've got many options on the journey, but that is also an illusion. And so I do feel with the financial discipline card, the universe is also reminding us that the universe is unlimited when it comes to abundance. And a big part of the journey too, in preparation for union, is to become financially disciplined and to become financially stable and secure, which also does allow us to create that domestic harmony on our path. And so there is a Six of Cups quality to the domestic harmony card. And I also feel completion. And so right now we're in this major energy of healing our relationships. And I feel we kind of need to take time to honor the path that we've been on, because it is time to make a new commitment within these connections and within our spiritual journey and our spiritual path. And so bottom of the deck, 99, and we did go through that 99 portal back in September. It was actually the 999 portal. And so we are in preparation for a brand new cycle beginning in January of 2026. And so right now we are being called to show a little bit of compassion, to really think about what it might be like to walk in the counterpart's shoes, right? Because I do feel there is communication coming. And we get a master number 33 on the communication card. And so this is connected to the Seven of Wands key in the tarot. And so there's a need to let down the guards, to unblock the heart, and to open up those channels of communication. And so 2 master numbers followed by forgiveness, and it's a 96. And so there is forgiveness for the separation stage of the journey. Forgiveness is all about compassion of self, compassion of others, and this is part of our spiritual path. 7-7, part of the spirituality connected to the twins. And we do teach and learn through the energy of heartbreak, through the energy of separation, where we do learn and realize that nothing is separate. And so I do feel we are in a major portal of personal growth, and abundance is right around the corner. So let's talk about this tarot spread, because the first card out is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And I just feel this very strong energy of impatience. And I do feel this is also connected to the supportive energy happening with the South Node in Virgo, where we are restructuring and reorganizing our path. And so when we are overly responsible for other people on the journey, or we are too structured and we lack that support, I feel it becomes a little bit impatience. And then we go right from the Knight of Earth in reverse to the Knight of Air in reverse. And I do feel this is connected to the Uranus retrograde energy. And what I feel here is massive rebellion. This to me screams rebellion. I feel there's a lot of downloads coming, triggering a new sense of motivation, a new sense of taking action. And we go right into this Ace of Swords, this Ace of Air. And so there's a little bit of shame, I feel, connected to this truth coming forward. And it is all about adjusting our communication patterns. And so the divine is bringing forward clarity. It's bringing forward truth in order to clear, I feel, this very stuck energy connected to the communication patterns between the twins. And so I feel there's new divine inspiration coming in. I think it's coming in at lightning speed with the Eight of Wands. I feel this is the divine bringing forward a lot of messages, a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities. There's a lot of activity happening in the spiritual realms connected to telepathic messages. And I do feel, it feels like we're going to have to really multitask. The central energy in today's reading is this King of Swords in reverse. And so I do feel there's still this sense of blocked communication. I feel the masculine might be receiving all kinds of intuitive knowledge. I feel there is this fear of coming forward to the feminine because the feminine is upright. So we have a true pair on the board, but the masculine came through in reverse today. That's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And so this air trine is opening up a portal where the masculine is being called into being a little bit more objective. We see all of the icicles, and so icy cold energy is what's coming off of this card. And I feel the masculine fears losing respect. So there is this major crossroads energy. The masculine is at a crossroads, and so the masculine could be in a same-sex marriage. We see two masculines on the card. The journey is not gender specific, but there is a need to take action. I feel there's a need to make a choice and to understand that you are divinely supported. So this is planning to go towards a partnership, partnering up with somebody where you can progress on the spiritual journey. And then we go right into this Queen of Swords. And so this is the feminine energy coming through loud, regal energy. I feel the feminine really is receiving a lot of heart-centered truth coming forward. The clarity is bringing forward, I want to say, a new experience within this connection. But we do have the renewal card or the judgment card in reverse. And I feel there's still a lot of resistance to the rebirth in the masculine collective because they're going through a lot of self-reflection right now and self-evaluation. And I do feel they are struggling with this heart chakra activation. And I feel the King of Cups in reverse is connected to the Grand Water Trine. And so I think they fear that they're not going to be looked at as trustworthy. I do feel they're worried that the feminine is going to lack that compassionate understanding if they come forward with some heartfelt communication. And I do feel the masculine is struggling. But once again, we get another knight in reverse on the bottom of the deck. And so the only knight that is missing out of all of these knights is the Knight of Cups in reverse. And so the lesson the masculine, I feel, really is integrating is the Knight of Cups in reverse. Whenever all of like the knights come out and we're missing one, the one that's missing is actually the most important one, which is probably what the masculine is integrating so he can step into emotional maturity and emotional mastery. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines are lacking that confidence to take passionate action towards a new adventure with the feminine. But there is a cycle reaching completion with the World card. And so this is accomplishment. This is celebration. This is completion. And I do feel the masculine is going to be coming forward with communication, but they're first going to have to leave behind a situation. Interesting, the 10 of Fire, the 10 of Wands. And so I did feel that 10 of Wands here. And so the masculine might still need to have a conversation and close out an old relationship cycle that he's connected with. He might have to move on from a situation where there's been a lot of strife, a lot of manipulation. And this is the laying down of the burden. This is the release of the stress and the imbalances. And I do feel there's so much fear over not having wish fulfillment with the feminine. So overall, what I do feel is this strong message of trust, because we do need to trust that our inner voice, our intuition is guiding us correctly on this journey, and happiness is around the corner. If you look at the happiness card, we get all of these dolphins, and so there is a soul frequency resonance that the twin flames share with one another. And so the more you ground into your truth, happiness, humorous energy, brilliant, experienced humorous is what this card says. The more you ground into being happy, Divine Feminine, the more it means that you are on the right path. I do feel the masculine collective is struggling. We got gratitude at the bottom of the deck, which is about being thankful for this life. All of the opportunities that it presents to us, positive and negative, because ultimately it is to bring us back to the energy of love. We come from love. So when we commit to the practice of seeing the good in everybody, forgiving everybody, and releasing the regret, right? We have to release the regret because we can't go back and change the past. But we can make a new choice today in order to shift the frequency of the future that we are creating. And it does take patience, right? I do feel a lot of the masculines are struggling with pride, are struggling with loving themselves, I think they're struggling. I think they're struggling with seeing themselves in that mirror image of the divine feminine. But there is also a need to accept that everything does happen in divine order. And so right now I feel the masculine is under karmic judgment. That's the judgment energy again. And so they do need to understand that their unique challenges on their path are unique to them. And the feminine has also gone through her own unique challenges. And there's this big energy, I feel, of releasing denial. We have to accept this connection for what it is before we can move on to that new adventure. But I feel we're in that completion process, especially with Pluto stationing direct. And I feel the masculine is working through regret, shame, and guilt. And he's making some adjustments in his life in order to bring forward some new communication. And that is what I have for a message today. If you would like to go further with me with a personal reading, check out the link below. Feel free to head on over and join the membership. I'd love to see you over on the membership side. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you all again next time.